Toddler, tan- Toddler tantrums without tears. Understanding big emotions, setting boundaries, and staying calm as a parent. Today, we are here to talk about something every parent struggles with, the toddler tantrums. And you don't have to figure it out alone. We have a lovely panel to help and guide the parents through this phase. Joining with us, Dr. Rajna Shah, a pediatrician, critical care specialist, who will help us understand what's normal and what's not. We also have Sameksha Bali, a psychologist and child development expert, who will decode toddlers' big emotions and show us how to respond calmly. With us today, we have Sri Nandini, a child feeding expert and a mom of two who truly understands everyday parenting struggles and shares simple practical insights around mealtime tantrums. And finally, we have Zainab, a parenting coach and early childhood educator. She works closely with families, helping them with real life tools around routines, transitions, and handling tantrums in daily life. This panel only goal is to support parents, reassure you, and help you make the tantrum phase a little easier for all of us. On behalf of Super Bottoms, we welcome all of you. Thanks for joining in. So, a little introduction, and here I would love to hear thoughts about Super Bottoms from all of you experts. So, Sameksha, we would like to start with you.
Thank you. And I think Super Bottom's initiative to form a community itself is it's a great thing for moms because as a mother myself, I remember in the initial years of parenting, I was looking for such groups, and I didn't know about any. And it's a very lonely journey. And when you see other moms, other parents actually going through same struggles, and then also, of course, where you invite experts to answer questions. I think it's a great thing for moms like me.
So, yes. Dr. Rajna, what are your thoughts? Because we have often seen parents, trying to understand if this is normal or something is wrong with my child when a child makes a tantrum. So how do you tell the difference between what is normal and what is not normal when it comes to your children's tantrum?
Okay, so see, basically, firstly, I really want to appreciate the topic that we're talking about because it is something that is very common and a lot of times not something we see. We manage in everyday OPD things that it's not like the child has a cough cold. So it is not something you come with a problem, but this is a chronic problem that most parents face. So, usually that is what the parents ask, is it normal or something is wrong with my child, right? So tantrums are usually very normal part of toddler development, and that is usually between 1 to 4 years of age, and they peak around the toddler age 2 to 3 years. So usually toddlers have very big emotions, but their brain system is their system of self control and their way of responding to different emotions is still immature, and their language is very limited at this age. So tantrums become their way of expressing their frustration. That is the first thing that we have to understand. So many parents also notice this, that at this age the child wants to express a lot of things. That is why the child feels and reacts in certain ways. So tantrums are usually normal, especially at this age. So you don't have to worry, you don't have to feel that the child is having something abnormal. So when do you worry? So important thing to know is that when can tantrums be not normal? So one thing is कि if the child is having age appropriate speech, the child responds to comfort and has, predictable triggers. Like if my child gets angry and throws a tantrum, or if he's hungry and throws a tantrum, then there's a specific trigger that is causing the tantrum. And otherwise the child is absolutely okay between two tantrums, or between two such behaviors, then I can very safely say that the child is not having a problem, right? So when do you screen, like when do we ask the parents to come to us as a pediatrician? So if the tantrums are accompanied by some speech delay, or you see that the child is having some poor eye contact, or you can see some sensory intolerances, that if you try to calm the child, if you try to comfort the child, and still the child is not responding a lot to the comfort. If the child is having some rigid routines, that suppose if the child wants food at 1 p.m. and then you give it even 1:05. So this is a very small example, but that creates a very big tantrum. So even small change of routine causes unexpected behaviors or tantrums. That is one thing where we should look for. Apart from that, if you see extreme impulsivity or hyperactivity, if the child is beyond normal, cannot sit at a position, constantly active to an extent that you're not able to make the child calm or sit at one position, that also tells us that that could be a problem with frequent tantrums. Apart from that, if the child starts acting out, so frequent banging or biting or self harm, or oppressive behavior where the child starts hitting the parents frequently, or the child starts biting, or next thing is that it starts affecting the child's daily life. So that is sleep deprivation, or you start seeing that whatever milestones a child is supposed to achieve, like language milestones, that are not getting achieved, the skills that the child should be now going through, that loss of skills is happening. So child used to interact initially and has stopped interacting, or the child used to be active and playful and is not doing the same. So these are some of the danger signs. And one more important point that you have to always remember is violence. So whenever you think that the child is throwing tantrums, because there's a very small line between behavioral disorders and tantrums when it comes to this, that is when you should really see your pediatrician. Because violence is one thing that often, parents miss out, that the child bites very frequently. Sometimes the child might even actually cause significant injury to the sibling also. So these are the places where, medically we always tell them that this is only when the tantrums are abnormal. Apart from that, having usual tantrums where the child has 10 to 15 minutes of a tantrum episodes, get comforted by just being in comfort, and then gets back to the normal behavior, that is absolutely normal.
Okay, that was lovely. When we were speaking, when doctor was saying, so Zainab, I would love to ask one question that lot of parents have doubts on. Every social media screams about following a routine for your kid, right? So but in real life, how much do these routines actually help to reduce the tantrums? Everybody talks about follow a routine for your meal time, sleep time, school time, everything needs to be on routine. But how much of these will actually help to reduce the tantrum? Can you give us some opinion on that?
Sure. So basically, one very important thing to understand about a child is that children thrive on predictability, on safety, and consistently, something happening consistently. So predictability is the main thing that we are looking for here. The the problem happens is where children, the parents feel very overwhelmed. Everything should happen at a certain time only. We are not trying to say that routine means that every time at 9 p.m. the child should, sleep. So 9 o'clock only the child should fall asleep. That is then overwhelming and frustrating the parent, that why my child is not sleeping when all the experts are talking about it. So it is not that. It is that I have a ballpark of, say from 8:30 I start putting my child to sleep. That by 9:30 the child is off to sleep. By 12 o'clock is a snack time, is a lunch time. So it's basically when children are consistently having a predictable, safe routine, they feel safe, they feel secure. कि हाँ मम्मी मुझे आज खिलाएगी ये टाइम पे, आज मुझे ये जाना है. Again, that doesn't mean we don't have interruptions. Sometimes you have to go for a party, or sometimes you have to go for a wedding, sometimes you have to travel. So that automatically is disrupting the routine to a certain extent. So the child is learning to be able to adjust, to maneuver in different situations also. But a general understanding of that, if there is predictability, the child feels safe. If there is safety, automatically the tantrums get reduced because the child knows what is about to come. So when you have marked your lunches and your snack time, many times, if you are observing that 4, 5 o'clock, my child is having a tantrum, every time he gets irritable, gets very cranky, and you realize that maybe 5 o'clock I'm giving a snack time to a child. Just by taking half an hour the snack time a little early, you realize, oh, he was actually just very much hungry because 2 o'clock he's having his lunch. So there's a very a long gap happening between the lunch and the snack. Just by understanding your child, or rather observing your child, the predictability helps the child to feel safe and secure.
Okay. Okay, lovely, lovely. But like the another most discussed topic with lot of parents. This question, I think, Sri Nandini would be able to help us. Uh, food, food seems to be in very close relation with toddler tantrums. We have seen parents and kids associating tantrums and food very closely. It is like they go hand in hand. So why is it common for a toddler, to cause a tantrum during mealtime? Because it is not only like I have a personal experience on this. My daughter is very normal. Every time, the moment I say your dinner is ready, your lunch is ready, she makes a huge drama on the seeing the plate. Just seeing the plate, she creates a huge drama. So why is that very very common?
Tantrums during mealtime, apart from other times, during mealtime, it's very common among, I think every parent would have faced it now. From 1 year to four, even 5, 6 years, every parent would face this situation. At least once, one meal, at least they would have faced this. Actually, from one mealtime before 1 year, that is during the 6 to 1 year period, is completely different. And from 1 year, after 1 year, the child, when they enter into the toddler phase, they want to have this control over things. They want independence. They want to have this authority over that. I'm choosing this. I want to do this. So when it comes to your case, so your daughter might be doing something. She's having something happening in her world. She is either watching TV or doing her homework. She's having a playtime. Playtime, especially for toddlers and all, are a very great thing. That is their world. So when you go and ask them to leave that and come to eat, it is causing the tantrum. It is the base there. So you are asking them to leave the favorite thing what they are doing and asking them to do some other thing that you want to do. They might not be hungry at that time. They don't want to eat that time. Their primary thing now they want to do is to do the plaything or whatever thing that they are doing. Even, it goes worse when they are especially watching screen. When you ask them to off the TV or off the screen and come to eat, that's going to definitely be a meltdown, not even a tantrum. It's going to go into the extreme case. So toddlers generally they want the authority to happen. So what you can do is, you can prepare them earlier. Like if you are in case giving some screen times and all, instead of giving screen times during the meal time, you offer them just half an hour or 1 hour before. You inform them. So this is going to happen. So we are after we are going to watch this for some time, and then we are going to eat, sit together and eat. So giving things like that, they will understand. Okay, mother. Anyway, the screen is going to off. Even if I do a tantrum or cry or anything, the screen is not going to be there. So that's the boundary that you are setting here. If we prolong them to make them to watch screen just because they are crying and delay the meal time, they will see this as an opportunity and they will repeat it again and again. So meal times generally tantrums happen during meal times because the toddlers they are generally egoistic. They want to want things to happen by what they want. So when you keep a different food, if for example most children like potatoes, they like potatoes, they'll eat that without any